Get ready for a quick quest guide for the Freeing Sir Amik Varze part of Recipe for Disaster, in which the main rewards for completing are 4000 cooking XP, 4000 Hitpoints XP, access to the evil chicken's lair, increased access to the Culinaromancer's chest, and 1 quest point. To take on this part, you'll need to have completed the Another Cook's quest and to have started the Legends quest up until you gain access to the Karazi jungle. And this means that you'll need to have at least 107 total quest points and to have done all the Legends quest prerequisites, including Family Crest, Heroes Quest, Shilo Village, Underground Pass, and the Waterfall Quest. It's also important to check that the Swansong quest isn't half completed when starting this part of Recipe for Disaster, as it'll see the wise old man move to Piscatoris and can make some needed dialogue options not appear until you've progressed in Swansong to a certain point. So make sure that the Swansong quest is either not started or finished. While there are no skill requirements, having 70 combat is recommended, and this is for defeating an evil chicken that is over level 150, as well as a Safespottable level 227 black dragon. Additionally, 43 prayer is helpful for access to protection prayers. Now let's talk items, and this could require you to do some running around before starting this section of Recipe for Disaster, and because of this I'd avoid gearing up until you've gathered everything listed. You'll want 50 coins, a pestle and mortar, a raw chicken, your ice gloves, and a pot of cornflour which can be bought on the GE or made by going to a windmill and milling sweet corn with an empty pot in your inventory, just like you would wheat, but with sweet corn. For this, simply climb to the top of a windmill, use your sweet corn on the hopper, select to operate the hopper controls, and then climb down to the bottom before emptying the flour bin. Now you'll also need 3 untradeable items, being a Dramen staff, an additional Dramen branch, and a vanilla pod. You might already have gathered these preemptively, but for those who don't have them, I'll cover getting them very shortly. When it comes to recommended items, you'll want an anti-dragon shield, and potentially an anti-fire potion to help with defeating a Safespottable level 227 black dragon. Additionally, bring along a weapon, armor, and around 8 pieces of high healing food to help with defeating the evil chicken and black dragon. Note that the evil chicken is weak to melee and ranged, while the black dragon is Safespottable and has a 50% water spell weakness. Choose a setup that works best for you and don't forget runes and ammo if needed. I've gone for a ranged setup with a crossbow, and if using ranged, I'd suggest a crossbow setup so that you can still wield an anti-dragon shield. Around 150 casts of your best water spell or 150 bolts if using range should more than cover you unless your range level is less than around 50, in which case I'd really suggest using magic against the black dragon. Also know that it's helpful to bring along 1 prayer potion and potentially 1 potion to boost the combat style of your choice. So for example, a ranging potion if using ranged. Then in terms of teleports, you'll need 2 to Lumbridge as well as a charged Amulet of Glory. Finally, have 2 empty inventory spaces at the quest start. Now before we launch into the quest itself, I'll firstly cover getting a Dramen staff, Dramen branch, and vanilla pod for those who need it. Should you already have these, then skip these sections. If you don't have both a Dramen branch and a Dramen staff, then equip some combat boosting jewelry, but absolutely no weapons and armor. And additionally bring along a knife, a few pieces of food to defeat some level 25 zombies barehanded, and 1 teleport to any bank. Then you'll need to make your way to the Monks of Entrana at the Port Sarum docks just west of Dramen Village before right-clicking on a monk and selecting to take a boat to Entrana. And a reminder that you can't bring any weapons or armor onto this island. If needed, know that you can deposit weapons and armor at the nearby deposit box. After arriving on Entrana, cross the gangplank north and then run northeast on the island, crossing over the bridge before changing course and running west until you reach the dungeon sign at the northwestern corner of the isle. Then climb the ladder down into the dungeon, ignoring the monk's warning and saying, "Well, that's a risk I will have to take," to drop down into it. Once you're down in the dungeon, run east and defeat the level 25 zombies until one drops a bronze axe. which has a 1 in 2.5 drop rate. So if you get unlucky, you might need to defeat a few. Once you get a bronze axe, run southeast past the greater demons and to the Dramen tree, and then chop a few branches from it. Importantly, get at least 2, 1 to keep as a branch and 1 to turn into a staff. Afterwards, use your knife on one of your Dramen branches to carve it into a staff, and then double check you have both a staff and a branch, and then teleport away. Now let's look at obtaining a vanilla pod, provided that you don't yet have one. For this you'll want 500 coins, an axe, a machete, and if you haven't fully completed the Legends quest, then you'll also need your Radamus notes. Consider also bringing a few pieces of high healing food if you're worried about running past some aggressive monsters. Additionally, you'll need 1 teleport to any bank, and also 1 teleport to either Ardun, which requires the Plague City quest, or alternatively if you have 40 construction, then to Brimhaven by using a Brimhaven teleport that's made by using a scroll of redirection on a house teleport, or alternatively a house teleport if your house is located in Brimhaven. If you don't have access to either of these teleports, then you'll want a charged Amulet of Glory instead. Now the first thing we'll need to do is head to the travel cart in northern Brimhaven, either by using a Brimhaven or house teleport if your house is located in Brimhaven before running northeast, or by teleporting to Ardun before running south to the docks and right-clicking and selecting Brimhaven on Captain Barnaby before crossing the gangplank and running a tad south. Alternatively, you can use your charged glory to teleport to Karamja before running west. Once at the travel cart, right-click and select Pay Fare to then arrive in Shilo Village before running east and exiting the village through the wooden gate, then going through the metal gate and finally climbing over the broken cart, and afterwards run a tad southwest to a bunch of trees and shrubs blocking the path south. Now focus on the most northeastern tree. You need to stand on the tile so that you're just northwest of it. And know that where you stand when you cut the tree does matter here. Once you're positioned, then choose to chop the tree, which after a short while will see you chop it and progress south. Then run a few tiles south and choose to chop down the jungle bush, and you'll make it through the pass pretty easily. While in this area, just be careful, because there are aggressive level 64 jungle wolves roaming about. Now run southwest for a while past the most western rare tree sign, and further southwest until you're nearby to the shore. Here you'll find vanilla plants. Search one of the vanilla plants, which will see you obtain a vanilla pod, and once you've obtained it, you can simply teleport out to any bank. Now that you're all geared up and you've got all the items you need, we'll begin this quest within the Instance Dining Room in Lumbridge Castle, which is accessed from the ground floor. Inside, you'll simply want to click or right-click on Sir Amik Varze or Sir Amik Varze and select Inspect before going through a chat with Aris, which will officially start this part of Recipe for Disaster. Now exit the room through the door south by passing through the barrier and then talk to the cook. And after some chatter, select More, then More once again, and then Protecting Sir Amik Varze, before continuing through the rest of the rather long chat with the cook until more chat options appear once again. Following this, climb down the trapdoor in the kitchen to reach the cellar, and afterwards run northeast in the cellar to the Culinaromancer's chest. Right-click on the Culinaromancer's chest and select Buy Food, and then purchase 1 bucket of milk and 1 pot of cream before closing the interface. Now use your bucket of milk on your pot of cream to create a milky mixture, and afterwards use your milky mixture on your pot of cornflour to obtain a cornflour mixture within the pot. Once that's done, use your vanilla pod on the cornflour mixture to turn it into a brulee, and afterwards use your Amulet of Glory to teleport to Draenor Village before running west and entering into the wise old man's house just north of the bank. Talk to the wise old man and begin by saying, "I'd just like to ask you something." Follow up with "Strange beasts," and then "The evil chicken." And after going through some more dialogue, say, "Thanks, maybe some other time," to finish off the chat. Now teleport to Lumbridge before running southeast out of the city and into the swamp before turning and running southwest to the small shed in the middle of it. Equip your Dramen staff and then open the shed door to enter into it and be teleported to Zenaris. After arriving, you'll notice a golden chicken shrine to your north. Be warned, because this next step will land you next to some black dragons. Ensure that your anti-dragon shield is equipped and sip a dose of your anti-fire potion if you have it. Then pray protect from melee provided that you've got 43 prayer, and afterwards use your raw chicken on the shrine to enter into the evil chicken lair nearby to some black dragons. After landing inside, immediately run north past the dragons to the back of the lair, whereby you'll find an evil chicken that's over level 150. Pop on protect from magic if you have access to it, and then attack this evil chicken and defeat it. Even without protect from magic, the chicken doesn't hit very high, however its hits are pretty accurate. You'll simply want to defeat this chicken, and after it dies, pick up the evil chicken's egg that it drops. Now use the evil chicken's egg on your brulee to add it to it. Next, it's time to defeat a black dragon that's just a little south of here. For this, you can simply pop on protect from melee, ensure that your anti-dragon shield is on, and drink another sip of your anti-fire potion should you have one before fighting one as usual. However, note that these dragons are quite strong. Should you want to use magic or range to safe spot this dragon, then from their central area run east into the corridor that leads to the mining area. From this spot you can attack the black dragons and they won't be able to reach you, meaning that you can slowly whittle down one's hit points and defeat it very safely without too much to worry about. After you defeat a black dragon, it'll drop a dragon token that you'll then want to pick up, and a token obtained, use your Lumbridge teleport to head to Lumbridge. After arriving in Lumbridge, use your pestle and mortar with your Dramen branch to make cinnamon, and then use your cinnamon on your brulee to add it to it. Following this, ensure that you have high health, and very importantly equip your ice gloves, as without having them equipped, this next part can see you take around 50 damage. Now while wearing your ice gloves, select to rub the dragon token. This will begin a cutscene whereby you start chatting with K-Click the fairy dragon, and when dialogue options appear, select please flambe this creme brulee for me, before continuing through the chat. As long as you're wearing your ice gloves, you'll take none or minimal damage from this. When the cutscene ends, you'll now have a Brulee Supreme. Now a quick word of warning. While this can't be eaten, this brulee does have an empty option on it that you under no circumstance want to select. Brulee in hand, run west into Lumbridge Castle. Then enter into the dining room and go to Sir Amik Varze at the table. Now normal click on your Brulee Supreme to select it, and then use it on Sir Amik Varze before BAM! Quest complete. You'll be awarded 4000 cooking XP, 4000 hit points XP, access to the evil chicken's lair, increased access to the Culinaromancer's chest, and 1 quest point. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next quest.